Welcome back to the sewing room. My name is Chris and this is Sewjourns, where we journey into sewing. Today I have a really special tutorial for you. I'm going to show you how to change a semi-relaxed t-shirt, gorgeous t-shirt, into something spectacular with appliques. Appliques are really fun, and you might have received a number of appliques when you ordered some fabric, or you might have found them really fun on the website, and so you ordered some of these trims, and now you have a bag or a box of trims and you don't know what to do with them. We're going to take care of that today with a really fun tutorial. First, let me tell you about the t-shirt that I'm using today, because it's really important, the fit of the t-shirt that you start with. This is the Shelia Everyday Tee by 5 out of 4 Patterns. It's a semi-relaxed fit tee, and that's really important because your t-shirt is knit, so it stretches across the body, but the appliques are woven. They don't stretch. And so you want to have something that doesn't have a lot of negative ease across the chest or whatever body part you're putting this on, so that when you put it on, your tee isn't stretching tight across your chest and doesn't allow the applique to stretch. Therefore, it's popping or your t-shirt is bulking underneath. We don't want that. We want it to lay flat. We want it to look like it's one with the t-shirt. So that's why I'm recommending this particular t-shirt, because of the semi-relaxed fit. And it's a great fitting t-shirt. This Shelia t-shirt by 5 out of 4 Patterns goes up to sizes 5X. So extra, extra small through a 5X. And I think the hip on that is 61-inch hip. It also has a line for a dress, for a knee-length dress. So that's super cute. And these appliques would look so darling on that. They're short sleeves, 3/4 sleeves, and long sleeves. And I've chosen the long sleeve today because we're headed into fall. But it's a value. It's a great value. And it's a really well-fitting semi-relaxed tee, which is perfect for this. I'm going to link that in the description box for you so you'll know which tee to use. I'm also going to give you some places where you can shop some sources for appliques in case you don't have any and you want to try this method. Appliques not only work for the front of your tee, but I'm going to come back and show you after the Sew You Can segment, where I show you how to sew on this applique. I'm going to come back and show you 2 more ways to use appliques. And then I know that your creative juices are going to be flowing and you're going to find even more, and I hope you share those with me in the comments. So let's get on with our Shelia Everyday Tee and our appliques to transform this beautiful tee into something spectacular. I started by placing the applique on the neckline exactly where I wanted it. And I wanted to make sure that the very top of the applique covered that neckband. So I placed Wonder Tape all around the neckband first, and then I put the applique there. When I sew it, I'll make sure I get it as close to the edge as I can. And then I strategically put Wonder Tape in different parts of the applique to keep it still while I'm sewing. And just as reassurance, I pinned it, as you can see, in a few places as well. Now let's go over to the sewing machine, set up for a small zigzag stitch, and get started. This is Wonder Tape. It comes in a roll. It's wash away Wonder Tape. It has a backing on it. So you place the sticky side onto whatever you want to hold in place, and then you peel off the backing, press it down, and it'll hold whatever you want in place, like a hem, in this case an applique, and then you will rinse your final product in water and it will wash away. Here I've placed Wonder Tape all around the neckband, exactly where I want it, so that that applique will be very tight to the neckband. And then I gently pulled off the backing and I pressed the applique onto the neckband. You can pick it up and reposition it if you need to. Next, I took little portions of Wonder Tape and I put them around the applique in various places. I want to hold it nice and still while I sew it on so that it doesn't shift, and we'll get that flat, beautiful look like we're looking for. After placing all the bits of Wonder Tape, I pressed down the applique, I had it where I wanted it, and then I strategically placed a few pins around as double protection as I now am going to take it over to the sewing machine. Starting at the neck, we're going to sew all around that applique. Okay, we're over here at the sewing machine now, and I'm set up for a small zigzag. I tested on a piece of scrap paper to see exactly what width I wanted, and this will be perfect. It's very narrow, but it's not the lightning stitch. I never use the lightning stitch. I think it's an awful stitch and it should be outlawed. It's impossible to unpick, so never use it. You can change the width and length of your regular zigzag. The zigzag gives me some stretch, and I want that because my shirt is a knit. My applique is not, so I've chosen my stitch, and I've put matching thread in the bobbin. You can't see it through this, and it really doesn't matter. But if you look here, I have matching thread in the bobbin and wait for the top. Really doesn't matter. I'm starting here at the shoulder, and I'm going to hold this applique as close to the edge as I can. Now at the shoulder, there's a little bit of space because our bodies curve, and the applique doesn't curve. But this is way past the shoulder seam, so it's not a problem. And then as it starts to come around the clavicle, it'll come right along the edge here. And I'm just going to keep that zigzag stitch right here. I'm going to do the best I can. I removed my front casing so that I have the free arm available. Makes it a little easier for me to manipulate the fabric. So I'm all set, and let's see how we do. And I can see the width of that zigzag, and I'm going to just get it right as I get going now. I'm going to get it right on the edge. Keeping the applique right on the edge. You have to stop, and you have to make sure that you don't wrinkle your shirt underneath. I'm actually going to make it a little bit smaller. That's even better. Hope my finger's not in the way there. As I go around this neckline, I'm making sure the applique stays where I want it. I can manipulate the rest later, making sure the fabric is flat. Stopping, making sure the needle's down, pivoting as I go around that curve, around the neckline. If I go off a little, I'm just bringing it back. Wash away Wonder Tape. When we're all done, we'll give that a quick rinse. That'll come right out. You'll see any remnants. I'm going to go all the way around the neckline, moving this applique up where I need it to go. Let's look again. Now, if you look here, my applique has moved down a little bit, but because this is not super sticky, all I have to do is peel it a little, reposition it exactly where I want it. That's why I started at the top, to get it as close to that neckline as I would like it. It won't be perfect, but it'll be very good. I'll see you around when I get to the other shoulder. Okay, I came around to the other shoulder. Remember, we started on one shoulder, came around the neckline, finished at the other shoulder, kept my needle down, and now I pivoted to come across the shoulder. So I had this Wonder Tape under here and some pins, so I know exactly where that shoulder wants to be and stay. I'm going to remove this pin now that we have it under the presser foot because that's precarious for me. Okay. And now I'm going to continue to do the same thing. When I get to the end of this shoulder, I will drop the needle and pivot down here, readjusting as we need. I'm going to come here. I'm going to remove this pin now. I think it'll be easier. Coming to the end, right to that corner, maybe one more stitch. Yep, and now I'm gonna leave my needle down, raise my presser foot and pivot, straightening out my fabric. Now, this is why I used Wonder Tape and pins, because I need now to make sure that the knit fabric doesn't stretch and that the applique lays flat. So I'm going to go slowly. I can adjust the speed of my machine. If you can, I would suggest doing that. I'm going to hold this down and continue along that border for the applique. We're zigging, doing a zigzag. When I get here, I remove the pin, of course. I'm making sure that both pieces are laying flat. Take your time. As you can see, the border is a little bit wider than it was at the neckband, so it's pretty easy going. Just want to make sure that the shirt's not doing this underneath. Now I've come to the top of the flower. So now what I want to do is follow the shape of the flower with my zigzag. So needle down, presser foot up. Again, I'm going to turn. Now, you don't have to follow the flower exactly, but you want to keep your thread from going off onto the red and keep it onto the white. So I'm going to do my best. So that means a lot of this, a lot of needle down, presser foot up manipulation. I mean, I'm going to do that a little bit more. That's what I want. I'm just going to do this one entire flower here for you. Spin that around a little bit. Drop the foot. Take your time. There we go. Always making sure it's flat. It'll be worth it. Right there. Baby steps. Come around again. Okay, I'm going to stop there. So you can see I am going to do that around the entire edge of this applique. So just around the entire edge of the applique, coming down to where it comes to a V, and I'm going to go back up. When I get to that point, I'm going to come back, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then we're going to strategically do some of these flowers in the middle so that everything stays flat. Okay, we'll be back. I finished my zigzag stitch all around the perimeter of the applique. And here I'm showing you the reverse side so that you can see. I'm going to bring this in a little closer. You can see that zigzag that I just did the perimeter of the applique. After I did this, I rethought and I decided not to tack down some of the flowers in the middle because I want that knit fabric underneath to be able to stretch and move across my body. And if it were tacked down by this woven applique, I may get puckers underneath. I'm going to turn it around and show you the finished product. Here's the right side of this gorgeous finished applique. I'm going to move in here a little bit and just show you I decided not to tack down those center points so that the knit fabric will move there, just around the perimeter. Now I'll take it and rinse it. And any of this residue that you see here from the Wonder Tape will just wash away. And of course, you see me modeling it today. What a great way to take your beautiful relaxed tee from everyday to something special. That's a fun and easy tutorial, right? I know you can do it. It doesn't require any special tools, just your sewing machine, a zigzag stitch, and a gorgeous applique. So I want to show you two more that you can do. Over here, this is actually the back of a t-shirt. And I've taken this gorgeous lacy look applique. It's a larger applique and it's wider. I sewed it on the exact same way as I showed you in the tutorial, but on the back of the tee. And then I cut out the fabric from behind the tee, leaving the neckline intact up here at the shoulder. And I just cut the fabric out behind it. So now you have this peekaboo sort of style, which is really fun when you're wearing it from the back. So you're making an impression when you're leaving the room. That's really fun. You can do that on the front too. If your applique isn't that low, some of them come right to here. You cut away the fabric there. It's gorgeous. It's just another thing to do. And it's very easy because you've already sewn the applique on and it's zigzag, and knits don't ravel. So you can take and cut that very close to your zigzag. Isn't it gorgeous? And I'll show you a picture here of me wearing that. Here's another idea. This applique, it's meant for a neckline, I believe, because this looks like it goes around the shoulders, and you can do it in the front or the back. But I use it as a pocket. That's fun. So you take the applique, you find out where you might want to put it as a pocket. My arm's probably in your way. And you sew all along the outside and down to about here, leaving this open, and you've got a pocket. Now, you're not going to hold a lot of weight in it, but it's super cute. And you can certainly hold a lipstick or a tissue or a credit card in it. But the idea is that you can change up your basic tee into something spectacular by using applique. It's just another expression of your sewing. Thank you again for joining us. And I want to have a special shout out right now to the over 100 subscribers I've had in the last week alone. To all of you that have been my subscribers, thank you. I love that you're part of the sewing community here at Sewjourns. I want to welcome especially all the new people, all the new subscribers that came over from the Sewing Summit. I'm happy to have you. I'm glad you enjoyed my sew along on the Laundry Day Tee, and I'm really glad you're here. So thank you. You have put me over the top of 1,000 subscribers. I knew I was reaching that number, but you really put me over the top, and I'm excited. And we're going to celebrate, but it came up on me so fast that I need a minute to catch my breath and figure out what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do the celebration of over 1,000 subscribers, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway very soon. Within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to give myself that much time to get some sponsors together. It's not going to be a huge giveaway, but it's going to be a fun giveaway, and everybody can participate. I'm really excited about that, and it's my way of thanking you for coming along on this sewing journey with me, with everyone in our community. I love to engage with you in the comments, on my other social media, my Sewjourns page on Facebook and Instagram. You'll find all of that way to connect with me in the description box, with my links for the Shelia tee, my links for sources for appliques and other things that you may enjoy. So thank you again for being part of the community. Thanks for sharing in this. I will see you next time with something really special.